Hey guys, today we're going to talk about this Imalent DM21T. This is a new brand to me, never reviewed them before, so of course we'll put links down in the description. This light goes on sale in the $20-something price range, the mid to high 20s. Typically it's around a $40 light, so hey, you catch it on sale, always try to catch them on sale, guys. So new brand to me, so this is an interesting kind of experience. Imalent does a lot of cool stuff, and some of their flashlights are very well reviewed, so I was kind of excited to get this guy. Now, I do have some mixed feelings about this, to be honest. This light is very interesting because for the people who want this kind of light, they're going to love it. But for the people who don't want these features, they're not going to love it. So this is a light that's going to be very specific to people's needs. So this is one thing to pay attention to before you buy it, is to make sure this is what you want. Now, this light is very simple. It's pretty much one button, turn on, turn off, very simple. Just turn it on, and there's also a strobe mode. It's run by this magnetic ring that changes the brightness, which is really simple, really easy to use. Also has a USB charging port in the back, in case I forget later on to tell you about that. So what I like about this is this light turns on, and the switch is really easy to access. I mean, you just literally put your paw over it and turn it on. Like, you don't have to dig around and hunt for it. I mean, anywhere on there, it turns it on. You don't have to be looking. It's super accurate, super easy to turn this thing on. So, of course, once you turn it on, your brightness adjustment can be done all with one hand. And your lumen range is going to be from about 1,000 to 30 lumens. Now, my test seems to be more like 900, but, my numbers are never perfect, 10%, so it's in that 10% range, so I think pretty close. It's probably, 900 to 1,000 lumens, so they're close enough for government work, guys. Alright, so as you can see, the button turns it on and off. Now, holding the button will bring you to strobe, and that strobe is also adjustable brightness as well, which makes this thing a fantastic bedside defender. That ability to just turn this on to a high strobe at a second's notice without having to fumble with a button. Oh, I gotta press it 3 times or double click or nothing. Just push and hold makes this a great defender. It's something that's foolproof. It's easy. I've literally sat in the dark and turned this thing on and off, and it turns on and off. If you can get your thumb on that end, you can turn it on and off. You don't have to look for the button or index or feel around, nothing. It just works, which is what I like. It works, and it's easy. So for those guys who don't like modern flashlights, who don't like all those different modes, who don't like having to memorize how to get to strobe, how to get to moonlight, all that stuff, this is a good flashlight for those guys who don't want the hassle, who want to be able to hand this to someone. This is a light I could literally hand to my wife, and she could figure this out in a second. I do like that about the light. I don't have to, you need to double click or whatever. No, this thing literally just works. So, the bad. Well, there's kind of 3 bad things as far as I'm concerned. First of all, there's a little tiny rattle in that magnetic ring, which that's not the end of the world. I'm not going to be walking through my house going, is anyone there? No. You're going to be with your thumb on that, and it's not going to be, so is it a problem? No. I just need to point it out to you guys. Next thing, you can see those little lines in the beam. Hopefully you can see them and they'll show up. That is called PWM, pulse width modulation. What that is a way to control the brightness of the light. Normally, in a higher end expensive light, what they're going to have is multiple channels on the driver, and those multiple channels are going to use resistors and all that to adjust the voltage and the current to make different modes. Now, if you don't want to go through all that trouble engineering that, you can use a simple circuit that uses pulse width modulation. Now, what that does is the light will run full blast, but it flickers on and off, and that creates the illusion of the light dimming based on the frequency of the on-off cycle. Is it an issue? It can be. Number one, as you can see, it's terrible for photography. If you're going to use that to light up photography, you can see how the frequency adjusts as you change it. It can be very detrimental to using this for photography or for lighting at night. Number two, it gives some people headaches and can cause migraines. and it can be very uncomfortable to read. Oftentimes, if you're using your peripheral vision like you often do when you're reading, it can show up even worse and be, bother you. So that is something to pay attention to. Is PWM going to hurt you as a nighttime bedstand light? No. Will it bother you if you're going to be reading for 3 hours in a hammock at night? Probably. So once again, it goes back to that philosophy of use. I hate to quote nothing fancy, but this is not a light I'm going to take out to go read with or do photography with. This is a light that's going to sit on my bedside stand ready to go. So once again, it's for those people who want light now with no fiddling. This is fine, and that's fine that it uses PWM for that need. So holy cow, guys, too much talking apparently. So overall, guys, wow. So overall, guys, it's well built. It's a nice solid light. It works well. It works 100%. The problem being, it's not going to be for everyone. People are not going to want that ring. If that's not what you want, if you want just the predefined modes and all that, that's cool. Like I said, this is not going to be for everyone. But for the people who want this sort of light, it's going to be a great light for them. So if you look at your needs and you're honest with what you need, this is a light that you may do very well with, or you may hate. But I think as long as you're honest with yourself about what you're looking for in a light, this thing could potentially be a very good light for you.